we're here in San Antonio. You're in San Antonio as well, right? So we were
Yes.
under a thunderstorm watch, and boy, it
Oh
sure
yeah.
was.
It sure was. Yeah, we were caught. I was in the middle of singing a song when all of a sudden the wind just started blowing, and
Oh my
we were under a
gosh.
covered patio, but it started picking up all kinds of things, and so we
Oh,
quickly just called it a night. That was
yeah.
it. That's okay though.
Take it
Excited
easy
to be
with it.
here. Thank you so much for having us here with you,
Absolutely.
and
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you so much. And I want to commend you. Your song sounds great, and really appreciate you taking time, one, to be on our podcast this evening, but two, to
Definitely.
yeah, as a Tejana, as an artist, um, being a part of that movement to step outside the box, if you will, to record something different, and that's music and country, and
Yeah.
that's what we're all about. We're promoting more artists, more Latino artists, to feel comfortable recording a genre of music that really, I think, at the end of the day, is really there's a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels
Oh yeah.
with the
Oh
Tejano,
yeah.
right, and conjunto
Yes.
and country music. So
Country music. Yeah.
we're just trying to get more artists to embrace the genre, and I think that they're going to find a very welcoming audience. I'm sure as you
Yes.
have
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
So
I think it's kind of shocking sometimes, like when
yeah,
I start off with, we write in English and Spanish.
yes,
And so our first album had seven, well, actually, our very first album we recorded in Cuba.
oh
And so
wow,
that
okay,
was more of a orquesta
yeah,
kind of,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, they're more their kind of music.
Exactly,
And so when we came back home, I said, what really I've always wanted to do is sing in mariachi.
mm-hmm.
Well, then we recorded some songs in mariachi, and then our second album is seven in mariachi and seven in country.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said, man, I'd really like to try Tejano. So we actually have dwelled a little bit in that direction too.
Yeah,
And so it's been exciting because I think people will look at me and first go, well, how did that come around? And oh, now you're singing this. And I
yeah,
think when you love music, you just love music.
yes, I
And,
agree.
and I think an important thing that we're trying to do is we're blessed to be able to be bilingual,
Exactly,
and so we try to use those gifts to be able to tell stories. That's the main thing, is to tell a story, not to repeat too much, but have some kind of a storyline through the whole song.
mm-hmm.
And it's surprising how many people have actually caught on to our music,
Yeah,
and they said we can visualize being there, because it starts off, oh, I get it, and then it ends, and it's like, oh, it's a whole storyline. Yes, and that's what we want. We want to be able to tell a story.
no, absolutely,
Yeah.
and yeah, telling a story cuts across all cultures, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
every single culture has a story to tell and an experience to share, and whether it's in English and Spanish, and then you put music to it, if it resonates, if you feel it, um, that's where that magic comes. That's where that excitement comes, and as Latinos,
Yeah.
as Tejano artists, right? We are. I think for so long we had kind of been, and I remember that classic scene in the movie Selena, right, where you know Abraham is talking about how we're we have to be Sinatra, we have to be
Yes.
the Latino artist, the Mexican artist, and we kind of are in this, we don't know where to fully,
It's kind of like a limbo. You're in
yeah,
a state of
yeah,
limbo because um, it's funny you say that, because I'm Mexican American. I'm
mm,
not. I wasn't born in Mexico,
yeah,
even though in my head
mm,
I always thought I was just Mexican.
mm.
I never quite, because I grew
That's
up
very interesting.
with a
Yeah,
family
yeah,
that mainly spoke Spanish, because I'm
yeah,
actually the first generation on my mother's side to be
mm,
born here.
yeah,
And so I grew up with so much Spanish, but then
mm,
we went, of course you start school, and then you have to blend those two languages.
Yeah.
And so it's been a really big blessing, because I think people have been shocked as to the degree or the level of the writing that we've been able to do, both in English and in Spanish. And it's funny because you say it resonates. It resonates. It cuts across all cultures. And so I think that when you say, "Do you feel it?"
Yep.
That's the clincher. And praise God, that when I sing, most people come up to me if they're American and they don't speak Spanish, but I sing a Spanish song. They come up to me and say, "We don't know what you just said, but we could feel it."
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to me, because that means I'm reaching them, I'm touching them in one way or another. So it's
yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. If the music, even if you don't know what they're saying, but if you feel it, it can give you a sentido, right? It can give you that feeling.
Right.
That's where you're right. It's the clincher, right? That's where you know that you did your job. You shared
exactly
that emotion that you had, and you allowed someone else to share it. And
right.
I hope to see more artists. And some of my artist heroes, if you will, that I had were I viewed them as multi-genre. For example, like a Juan Gabriel. He could do a mariachi. He could do even though he didn't sing in English, but he did canciones estilo country. He did rock. He did.
Well, believe it or not, I heard him sing a song in English one time.
Oh, really?
And
okay, yeah.
Yes, and honestly, I don't remember.
That's how talented he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what was so fascinating about him? And we kind of learned a little bit about that. He went and got his old songs and he reinvented them in a sense with newer, younger artists.
Yes, that's right.
And so when you go back and look at some of those songs, you're like, they're so different. That's just how talented he was. So what we did, we got those 7 songs from an orquesta style that we recorded in Cuba, and we converted them into mariachi. And it's almost like they're recognizable, sort of, kind of, but if you don't know the lyrics, then you think they're completely different songs. Wow. And so we've been blessed to have really, really very creative, very professional people in our lives. On the mariachi side and Spanish side, we have Mr. Henry Gomez, who I'm not sure if you would know him. He's like our San Antonio hidden gem. That's what we call him.
Oh, wow.
He is our producer and he is our music arranger. And then we record at Blue Cat Studios with Joe Trevino.
Okay.
And then on the countryside,
ellos también.
Oh yes, they're wonderful people. On the countryside, we had Bobby Flores.
Okay,
Bobby Flores passed away, but he was able to. I think we were able to record with him. Let me see how many songs. Probably about 9 songs, 10 songs, something like that. Such a simple, down-to-earth guy, and we were so blessed to have him in our lives. So we would record with him. He would put in all the string instruments. Arrange our music, and we would record it at his studio. And so, yes, we've been very blessed with very, very good people. Our latest single that we just released on Wednesday is called Cinismo. You're going to be surprised when you hear it.
Oh, wow.
It's an orquesta style. It's with Georgie Padilla, and it's called Cinismo. And so that's like cynicism in English. It's like when you still want a little bit more. So understand that most of this music, well, I can't say most of it, all of our music is about true experiences. It has to be about that. And that's one thing. If we don't know, like, even if we didn't experience it per se, but if someone is telling us their story and we can feel that emotion, that passion, then we can catch on to that and put it into words. And so we've been very blessed with that. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. You have a great team surrounding you and a lot of talent around you. And I think that's a credit to you as well, knowing what you want, who you want to be on your team to help tell that story, right, and get that music out there. I know you've linked up with Mastering One Radio as well, and Lila,
Yes.
and Juan. They do an awesome job. I really admire them and everything that they're doing for the artists,
Yes.
and they're just amazing. And
Yes, very down to earth people, very humble,
yep,
and just willing to help.
yeah,
And
no,
we finally had the pleasure of meeting them, and it was an honor for us. We had been with them for a few months
mhm.
and had never met each other. And so finally, thanks to them, they submitted our name and our music to the Legacy Brownsville Award.
Wow,
And
okay, yeah,
so we ended up getting recognition, which was, I mean, a total honor because most of those people there, some of them are even on their third generation as far as musicians are concerned. And so here we are. We just had just gotten started. For us, it's only been 5 years, but to reach that level and be surrounded by those fantastic creative artists was a very humbling experience, and they actually played both our country and our Spanish music. So we
good.
got recognized for that, and thanks to Lila and Juan, yeah, that's why we were able to do that. And like I said, we picked up their awards, and we had never met. I says, well, God willing, we'll meet each other.
Yeah.
And they did. I went and sang in Divine, and they met us there for breakfast. So it was very exciting to me.
Oh
We
yeah.
say, hey, we finally have a face to a name.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And to talk about the recognition, um, you mentioned the Brownsville Legacy Awards, or
Yes.
yeah. So, it's opportunities like that I think that artists, whether you are 20 years in, 5 years in, 1 year in, you got to seize on those opportunities. And credit to Lila and Juan, and to yourself as well for having that music to get it recognized. Because I'm sure you've been playing music, writing songs for a long, long time, but to share it commercially or to share it to the public, maybe you just got in, or you haven't been as
Yes.
you don't have the longevity, but you still have the
Right.
experiences, you still have the stories to tell, and whether you just got in or you've been in a long time, I encourage artists to go after the opportunity and seize it, take it full
Well,
advantage of that opportunity.
exactly. And this is something that I have mentioned many times before in different interviews, and when we do a little bit of our live playing, is I just turned 61.
Mhm.
So we have only been in this industry for 5 years, but I want to encourage, especially
Mhm.
Hispanic young women.
Mhm.
A lot of times, because of our culture, because of,
Mhm.
just traditions, ways of thinking, we have to break that circle. That mentality
Exactly.
of, oh, mijita, you need to stay home, and this and that.
Mhm.
And so, like I've always said, I was blessed to have 4 children, love being a mom, love being a grandmother.
Love it. Yeah.
All of that is great, and I feel like I have been called to be that.
Mhm.
But the Irma on her own, what makes her happy, what fulfills
Exactly.
her heart. And so I told my husband, I said, being in front, whether it's at a small restaurant or a little bit bigger venue,
Mhm.
it has fulfilled my heart
Yeah.
in such a tremendous way. That
Mhm.
was always my dream, but you just kind of put it aside sometimes because you feel, well, that's going to interfere, or I don't have time for it, or I'm too old to do that. And let me tell you, these past couple of years have been just amazing for us,
Mhm.
meeting so many wonderful people and having the opportunity, as we are so grateful to you for opening the door to us, that just reaching people, and it's just been amazing. We put out all kinds of videos, and of course our music, and we have all these people texting us and sharing our music, and we're like, wow, somebody liked our song.
Yeah.
And my husband does a really great job in doing like the karaoke part of the songs. So we're watching that we're noticing that little by little people are actually singing our songs out there. We don't know who, but we even have people in Japan and Africa, all over the world that
Yeah, that's the beauty of the
that
internet, right? We
right, and the world
we
becomes
have
so small.
fans, yeah, in the Netherlands, or wherever they
Yes,
might. You never know, right? Who's watching, who's
yes,
listening, and something, a melody, or a line, or piques their interest, and yeah, you got
exactly.
fans that it has been so cool. Yeah, no, that is awesome, and I love your mentality about, yeah, you're never too old to chase your dreams,
No,
to find that fulfillment. And I think, as long as you're not hurting anybody,
yes,
and you have you have a good spirit about it, you should go after it.
yes,
You should do it. And my hats
yes.
off to you, and
No,
your
thank
husband
you.
as well. It takes a team. I know my wife has supported me, and I too, kind of similar path. I was going to, right after high school, I had a Tejano band, and my parents were very supportive. I was going to pursue a career in music. My family um, was on board, and I had come kind of from a family of músicos, and so I had
Hmm.
seen what it took, and I said, that's what I want to do. But then 9/11 happened, and I
Hmm.
decided I wanted to join the military. So I joined the Air Force, and I kind of put the music career on the back burner, and
Yeah, yeah.
married and had children, but you never could kind of fully extinguish, right, that fire, if you will, of uh, of music. And
Hmm.
I got you there. We lost you there for a minute, but
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
yeah, so it's never, yeah, never too late to record, and you'll find, like you've shared, you find people that like your music, and are
Yes.
listening, and y'all made a connection. So that's awesome. We're super excited for you, and the more music that's to come from Irma Aguilar. Um, my my
Yeah.
my mom, his maiden name. My mom is Aguilar, so
Oh,
Aguilar is. And I know you mentioned from San Antonio, so
yes.
our family's from the South Side area, South San area, Lytle, Somerset area. So
Oh, okay.
Aguilar
Okay.
is, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sure
my
that's how they
maiden name
pronounce
is
it. Or your
well,
husband,
that
I'm
would
sure,
be
yeah.
my husband.
Uh
That's
huh.
my husband's last name, yes. But he's
Okay,
from
yeah.
Mexico. He's
Okay,
from
yeah.
San Luis. But
San
my
Luis.
maiden
Okay,
name is Pedrosa.
okay.
Yeah. So we have a lot of family out there in Lytle and Hondo and
Oh wow.
Divine.
Yeah.
So I'm sure my family probably knows your family.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny how I was gonna share a story with you that I was at the airport with my dad, and we had our masks on, and I said, hey, we're gonna eat something. We
Mm-hmm.
need to sit in a corner because with COVID and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had my mask on and I was sitting with my dad, and my dad said, you gotta try this food. I said, okay, dad, fine. I pull my mask off, and out of the blue, and I just say this very humbly, this guy comes up to me and he goes, is this you, Irma Aguilar, right? And I panicked, right? And I said, sir, may I ask, like, how do you know me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's another person that has his own little podcast, right? But I didn't recognize him. Completely different setting, but I mean, you could see the panic in my face. And my dad says, well, they caught you, eating with a meatball and stuff. And I said, yeah, that'll be an experience to tell. But it just goes to show how you don't even know, because of social media, it
Yeah.
reaches people all over the place. And I panicked right away, and I thought that was funny. But it was a good experience. He said, oh, it's me. I said, okay, I got you now. Yes, I had spoken to him before, just panicked. But um I just it's like I said, it's a very humbling experience, but it's been a beautiful experience because our our songs are stories, and I've always said it doesn't matter your age, your race,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're have a college degree or not. At the end of the day, we are human beings, and we all experience the same things.
one day, either as a young person or as an older person, we all go through that. And I think that that's what connects us as humans, and then we need to put that aside about like, well, we all experience life is life. And how we deal with it is how we deal with it, but it still comes. It comes around. And I think that's what just should unite us as human beings.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and you touch on uniting us. I want to send a shout out to Aaron Gonzalez with Tech Sound Music. Him and I had a discussion about um, the the connection between Tejano and country, and that's really how this idea came to fruition about wanting to bring realizing that there was a lot of people out there that love country music, love Tejano
Yeah.
music,
Yes.
and how we can bring those two groups together, and seeing how much Nashville loves to sing about our tequila and our beautiful women
Yeah.
in Mexico, and so I
Yeah.
encourage us as Latinos to songwrite as well, and give them more ideas to write, and find opportunities to collaborate and songwrite and partner with
I was about to
artists.
say that.
Yeah.
Yes, collaboration.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that's really big.
Yeah.
We have 3 songs that we actually collaborated with Los Tex Maniacs.
Oh wow. Yeah. Max
And
Baca.
it
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
beautiful experience. Yes, Max Baca and Josh. And one of them is called Arrepentido. And the other song is called The Day I Met You.
Yes. I know that
We
song
also,
too.
okay, what
Yep.
would you like to ask?
Well, wanted to see how the songwriting process comes to you. Um, is it the melody? Is it a phrase, a line? How did the day I met you came
The
to
Day I Met You is a song that talks about my husband and I. And so we were friends for a long time. But when we finally got together, it
Mhm.
was uh, it was an understanding, kind of like we changed each other's lives.
Mhm.
And even as friends, we understood each other on a different level. And so that's how the title came about, The Day I Met You.
Okay.
And so from there, it kind of like you kind of have to, well, I don't know, I don't even know what the formula would be. I would say I'm a perfectionist when it comes to rhyming and timing.
Mhm.
My husband normally grabs onto a certain word or a certain phrase that he might hear, and we said, let's work around that.
Okay.
And we just do, and I just grab my guitar, and I don't want to make it seem like it's very flippant about it, but I think God gave us that gift that before we know it, we can just write a song. And we said, okay, what do you want it to be? Do we want it to be this way, that way? And so we decided, hey, let's write something that's kind of danceable. And God blessed us by Max walked in completely out of the blue when we were recording at Blue Cat Studios. And my husband had just said 5 minutes before, we need to meet Backbox. I said, why? How? I was just not, it's not that I didn't feel it. It was like, how are we going to do that? There's this Grammy Award winning person. How are we going to do it? And hand to God, he walked into the studio.
Oh my God.
Just like that.
Yep.
And so when he came in, my husband said, do you know who that is? And I said, well, no. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And I was like, well, no, how would I know that man?
Yeah.
And he said, that's Max. And I was like, you are lying to me, right? And so he comes around, he was fist pumping everyone. And I asked Joe Trevino, I said, why did Max come around? And he said, I don't know. He just popped in on us. And I said, oh my goodness, that meant that God had a plan for us to be able to meet him. And immediately I jumped up and I introduced myself. And I said, we would love to work with you. He said, okay, Mama, you want to get a paper, a pencil? And I said, okay. And he gave me his personal number. And before we knew it, a couple of days later, we were at his house and he made us to eat. And we recorded at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh.
But we had a blast. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He is a fun guy.
Yeah. No, he
And
is.
so we
I've
recorded
heard
2
nothing but
songs that night. Yeah.
yeah. of great things, and he's been such a wonderful ambassador for
Yes.
for conjunto, right? And an ambassador for the bajo
Yes.
sexto, having that, making that instrument
Yes.
a lot more known,
Yes.
more audiences around the
Well,
world.
he has a
But,
CD.
yeah,
Yeah, that
and
is in the Smithsonian. Can
yeah.
you believe that?
Yeah, no, and that's
And yet
that's where we belong.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's where we belong. He's making those, like earlier, we're taking advantage of those opportunities that I think we're afforded as Americans and as artists, right? We belong
Yes.
in the Smithsonian, and we belong on the stages in Nashville and anywhere that we'd like to go in within the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly. And it's he's such a humble guy, and I told my husband, I said, you know what? He's an example of no matter how famous you get, you never forget to extend a hand to someone, because he had no reason to. I mean, he didn't even know who we were. Of course, we had just gotten started. But he was so ready to just lend a helping hand like that. Just, yeah, come on over, mama. We met his wife. She's adorable. And when they come and sing here at Taco Haven right there on South Presa, we go and see him, and he's always like, mama, come on, come and sing a song with me. And I mean, he's just a humble guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why he's so, I would say, successful in life, because of his humility,
Yeah.
His humbleness. He doesn't think anything of. He's like any other guy.
Yeah, very approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very approachable.
And yeah, to his credit, he's been a wonderful. He's just an amazing, talented artist, and you can definitely. Y'all did well in having Max a part of your work and your song itself.
Oh yeah.
I do want to shout out to Juan Mendoza.
Yes.
For watching in. Yeah, we appreciate it, and help us get the word out. We're always looking for artists to interview, but most importantly, get more artists. Again, our mantra is to grow Tejano music, and
yes.
And you might ask, well, how are you going to do that if they're recording in country? Well, we're taking Tejano to Nashville. We're taking Tejano to Atlanta. We're taking Tejano to the West Coast and the East Coast, and
yes,
that's what we are blessed because we're bilingual. We can sing in country. We can sing in Spanish. We bring the instrumentation of the accordion and the bajo sexto, and put it together with the banjo and the guitar and the tenor fiddle. And you make a very, very beautiful sounding genre of music.
Sure.
I think falls under the umbrella of country music. So that's what we're about. We want to promote more of.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on that. And, I humbly thank you. I thank you very much, for extending that, invitation to come tonight. And I was very excited. I put it on my calendar when they said, hey, are you willing? Yes, yes, definitely. We want our music to go out there and reach as many people as possible, number one. But number two, also, we would love to collaborate with other artists, like you said. I think that's very important. I think it's important to share our talents. My husband always says there's always room for everyone. I think that's the beauty of coming together and sharing those talents and watching something blossom that could be very unique. We could add to each other's way of singing, our way of writing, and make something like a new recipe. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? I think that is the perfect line, the perfect way to kind of think about country music, Tejano music. Our music is big enough. It's big enough for everybody. There's plenty of room for everyone.
Yes.
To participate in, to bring in their talents, to bring in their ideas. So we grow the genre, we grow it, and we make it bigger. We're not taking it from anybody. We're just making it bigger.
Right.
And that's what we want to do. when we reach out to artists and we talk to them and they share their experiences. And we've just been very fortunate. You're our fourth guest that we've had, and we've had
Oh, awesome.
up and coming young artists. We've had we had last week we had a gentleman from the Victoria, Texas area, and
Hmm.
he was talking about the more the Texas country scene um, and but how he sees the different styles of music, the Tejano and the country, and it comes together, and it sounds beautiful. It sounds very
Unique.
authentic, yeah, to where we live. Whereas if you listen
Yes.
to kind of just country radio coming out of Nashville right now, I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying that um, our music is as country as anything that comes out of Nashville, Tennessee right now, and I think that there's
Oh.
a real hunger and need for our music to get out to more people in the country.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, we have a song that we wrote for each other, Nick and I, and it came out. I had. Well, what can I say? Right? It's like our own baby. You can't say our baby's ugly, right? When it's your own baby. No, what I'm trying to
Yeah.
get at is God blessed us. I'm telling you, it was a complete perfect translation.
Mm.
We don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
But we wrote that, and it's completely in English, goes right into Spanish, and it ends bilingually. And so I'm thinking to myself, wow, we just need to find the right artist to come in and collaborate with us.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, one person I do want to mention, because he was so excited to record one of our songs. His name is Ramon Lucio, and we met him over there at Brownsville, and he was so excited to meet
Oh, Ramon Lucio,
me.
yeah, yes,
Ramon Lucio, oh my God,
yes,
what an amazing guy.
yes.
He is,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to meet you," and I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you too, sir." And so we connected. And so one day we sent him a text and we said, "Hey, would you be interested in recording one of our songs?"
Oh,
And so that's what he's doing. That he is
Conjunto
he
Diamante,
is
no?
yes,
Right?
Los
Yep.
Dominantes,
Yeah, Dominante.
Dominantes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now he's.
And so, oh, he's a great guy. And we got to meet his band, and he played at the during fanfare.
Mhm.
And then we were blessed to have been able to have the opportunity to sing on two different stages. And then we met up with him later at the VFW, and he did a great job. And so we're really looking forward to seeing how um, what he did with our song. He said, "Hey, can I tweak it? Can I adjust it? You do whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
Here it is." I recorded it at home, just a simple guitar playing. I said, "See what you can do with it." He said, "I got it." So we are very, very excited and anxious to hear the outcome of that song. But I said, we don't want to hear it until it's ready. And so yeah. So
Yeah.
but the name of it is Que Pasó. So
Wow.
you got to
Okay.
keep your ears open to that
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Ramon Lucio.
Send it our way when you'll have it ready. We'd love to share it.
Definitely, definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it sounds like a very exciting record coming soon from
Yeah.
Irma Aguilar and Ramon Lucio. So no, we're very excited. So what's on the
Yes.
horizon? And I know that we're coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, and I don't want to keep you too long. But what's on the horizon for Irma Aguilar, and where
Oh
can
goodness.
folks find you? I'm sure on the social media platforms.
Oh, on
That's
all
where.
social media
Yep.
platforms. Yeah. And then Spotify and iTunes and Amazon Music. Um, right now we're just kind of promoting what we do have. Like I said, we just released one of the latest single, which was on Wednesday. It's
Okay.
called Cinismo. We're working also with a local mariachi group called Mariachi Azteca de America, right? De America, correct? De America.
Mhm.
With Gino Rivera. And so I was able to perform one of our songs. Is called Amor Pasajero. It is a duet with Rhonda Garcia,
Mhm.
and she's a really pretty big singer with Campanas de Americanos. She started with them, and I know I can't remember right now the group that she's with. It's the branch off of Campanas de America. And so she actually sang Amor Pasajero. It's a wapango. And so I was able to perform with them in their Noche de Romance, which happened in April. In April, just a couple of weeks ago. And so we're going to try to collaborate a little bit with them and get some more music out there. They were the first mariachi to ever say, we want to learn your music and we're going to make it part of our repertoire. And that is a big honor for us. And so we just want to, thank you so much. And of course, I sing at a restaurant, La Tequila Jalisco, over here off of Fredericksburg and Crossroads. I sing at Area 51. So just little gigs here and there, but let me tell you, it is so much fun. It is so much fun, and when people sing along and they come up and say, "Man, we really enjoyed the way you sang." Oh, that's what matters. It's making people happy and connecting with them. And sometimes I do make them cry because I'll sing a ranchera or sing one of our songs that really. And so I said, "Hey, that's okay. That's perfectly fine to cry. It means it touches your heart." So yes.
Well, Felicidades,
Yes, sir.
Irma. Thank you again so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on, and we wish you nothing but continued success. In
Oh
everything
gosh,
you're
thank
doing
you.
in country, in Tejano, in mariachi, and we hope to have you back on again and sharing your next
Anytime.
your next record with us. But we hope to see you out and about in the community.
Yes.
And for folks that are tuning in, make sure you catch Irma at a show or gig, or
Yes.
download the music, right? And
Yes,
share the
definitely. And
music.
send comments,
Yep,
share it.
yep,
That'd be great.
Awesome.
We're so grateful to each and every one of our fans, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. And of course, anytime you want another interview, I'll be more than glad, because we just get so excited about our music.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it very much, and we're grateful to you and your husband and your team that have put great music out there for folks to enjoy. So yeah, we're excited again for you, and we appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to having you on again soon.
Okay, anytime. Well, God bless you. So thank you again.
God bless you. Thank you.
See you soon.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.